Okay, so we've now recently had some news about the third installment of the Nolan era Batman franchise, or Batman 3, however you want to determine this with all the different versions of Batman out there. Regardless. The big news, well, let's start with actually probably a slightly little news, is that the title has finally been decided, and it's going to be called The Dark Knight Rises. I'm a little disappointed in this title. I feel it feels a little too, shall we say, bland. I mean, it feels too much like a direct sequel to The Dark Knight, which isn't a bad thing at first when you think about it. But I mean, they started off with the title "Batman Begins," sounds original. The Dark Knight, ooh, classic name. And I think I was just really kind of attached to the idea that they were going to call it Gotham or something along those lines. Made it more about the city overall. Uh, Instead, they call it The Dark Knight Rises, and it's not that I don't. It's not that I hate the title. I think Gotham would have been a better title, or something else. I don't know. I just kind of wanted each. I felt like they should have really made each of these a unique kind of title, but like I said, this is really minor news. Although that could maybe indicate something along the plot, something along what the central theme is going to be. Although it would be kind of hard because if it's The Dark Knight Rises, he's kind of already established very fairly as Batman, so it's not like he's starting off. He's rising to overcome something. I don't know. I mean, he's already done the Joker in The Dark Knight, and that was quite an adventure. So it's hard to pick exactly what they might be indicating with that theme. But I'm pretty sure, considering the writers involved, that that is going to be some indication to the plot, if not like details of the plot, perhaps the theme of the film. But I think we'll have to wait until we see trailers to determine exactly. Now, the real big news is some villain announcements. Now, I made a video, actually one of my earliest videos, about speculation on who was going to be the villains in this Batman film, and I will admit fully that I got him that I did not get him. At least so far. There's some indication. I mean, I was really hoping for a Harley Quinn, but yeah, it didn't happen. Instead, we have first that we know is definitely a villain. Tom Hardy playing Bane. This is going to be an interesting choice. I don't know exactly how they're going to do Bane. I mean, we've seen him done on. First of all, one of the big reasons I didn't think they were going to do him is he was put on film before, and they were indicating that they weren't going to select people that were already portrayed in film. So apparently, they either lied or they changed their mind. Or they're really snubbing Schumacher for saying you didn't really do Bane. I'm not sure. But Tom Hardy's Bane's interesting. I mean, if you've either watched the television show, played Arkham Asylum video game or one of the other video games, or read the comics, you know Bane is a giant freaking monster. Now, Tom Hardy is a big guy, no doubt, but I don't know if they're going to do special effects, put him in a suit, or what exactly they're going to do to make him be this Bane, to be Bane. He's gonna have to bulk up, and he's already a pretty bulky guy too. I'm gonna be very interested in how they portray him. I mean, he's certainly not. I know he's not the big lug that he was characterized as in the Schumacher. He's much smarter and stuff like that. He's more of a plotter, although he's basically, think of him as a really bulky, brainy guy at the same time. Very scary combination. I don't know how they're going to fit him in, what exactly his character is going to be in the story. Whether he's going to be like his comic book counterpart and basically just kind of want to prove himself by beating up Batman. Or is he going to be basically a guy hired by the mob, perhaps, to kind of find Batman and take him out? That's a tough one. I'm not sure exactly how he would tie in with the Nolan story. I mean, Batman's. There's been indications that that Batman's taking more of a back seat, or had been taking more of a back seat post The Dark Knight, because he's kind of broken. The mob's been kind of broken. Police are kind of really taking over. Maybe that's not true. Maybe they're going to make it so it's even more crazy without the control of the mob. Things are even more chaotic. Who knows? Moving on from Bane, though, we have the other announcement that Anne Hathaway, is going to play. Now, this is the interesting part. They announced her as Selina Kyle, which is the regular name of Catwoman, basically as a love interest. Now, what's really interesting with that is they made her name. Now, either they're not really, it might be like how most modern incarnations of comic books are, where they don't really just use the superhero to supervillain name, and that she's basically playing Catwoman. But in the film, they continually refer to her as, Selina or Miss Kyle or something along those lines. Or it could be that she really doesn't become a full Catwoman in this one. She's there, maybe she does some burglary, but maybe serves as a love interest, but isn't really a full Catwoman, maybe not a full villain. This is another one I'm kind of disappointed in. She's obviously been portrayed on film before. Pretty much in every carnation of Batman has featured Catwoman, and I don't know. Is she running around dressed up as a cat then, which doesn't really seem to fit in the Nolan Batman verse. I mean, we had a very deep Nolan really took a lot of time to try to explain why Bruce went around dressed up as a bat. I mean, even Alfred in one scene in Batman Begins goes, why bats? I mean, and even the rest of the suit in Batman Begins, they explained everything. They explained why he has a cape. It's really so he basically has a instant parachute anywhere. He's wearing a helmet and the suit because it's armor. I don't know how they're gonna explain a Catwoman kind of dressed up as a pussycat and wielding a whip. That's gonna be a tough one to explain in the Nolan verse. Again, maybe she really isn't playing Catwoman. Maybe she's just a burglar called Selina Kyle that plays love interest. There are talks that there are more villains involved. A lot of people are talking about Hugo Strange, which is one of the characters I thought made the most sense. And there's still a lot of talk that he is still going to be in there. Basically, for those of you that don't know, he is a psychiatrist that actually is able to deduce that Bruce Wayne is Batman. So, which makes perfect sense considering everything that goes on in Nolanverse. And I've also heard a few there's still some rumblings that Tala al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, is going to make an appearance as well. Those are still rumors. I haven't heard anything really solid on there. There's also been talk of the character Black Mask might still appear as well, perhaps as a minor role. Those two characters right there make, I think, a lot more sense for the series. Haven't been betrayed before, and I think this are a better fit. But I will see. I will hold judgment at least until the trailer. I hope, or maybe hopefully we'll get to see some still images. I'm really interested in, or even concept art. I want to see how they're going to portray, especially Bane, because he's supposed to be just a giant freaking monster of a bulky guy. Now maybe they really downtone him. I don't know. I really want to see some concept art on this to kind of just assure me. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I guess you could just wear a tight black suit and. I guess that's all you really need for a Catwoman, downgraded Catwoman, maybe. Especially if you're not calling her Catwoman. I don't know, these are just my thoughts. I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to end the video right now. But that's at least my first initial reaction of The Dark Knight Rises. Signing off.